My latest invention is a giant metal casing people sit in that has 4 wheels and can go up to 240 kilometers an hour. We'll give it to anyone who asks for it and charge them roughly $34,000. I call it quickly accelerating trouble. Before I officially start this rant, I would like to announce that I am a nervous person. I'm afraid of most things, so this rant may sound like the ramblings of a madman, because it probably is. But I have to get this off my chest because for the past year, this thing has been driving me mad. No pun intended. I have been practicing to get my driver's license because I am now at that age where it is expected of me to be a driving person. And I hate it. When I drive, I'm always asked by the passengers in the car, why I always look so tense? Why are you so scared? Why don't you calm down? Why not? Because you just gave me a weapon. You gave me the equivalent of a hand grenade and I'm frantically trying to keep the pin in or get it someplace where it will cause the least amount of damage. Because that's what a car is essentially. It's a weapon. It's a large mobile casket made of steel hurtling through space at speeds faster than any man, woman or child can run, and one slip up or mistake can cause multiple catastrophes that spread out across time! On the bright side, if you hit something, a pillow pops out and you can get an afternoon nap, so you know, swings and roundabouts. I played Grand Theft Auto and Twisted Metal at an age early enough for it to affect my mental development, so now whenever I drive and I don't crash, I think, you just used up all your luck for the month. Don't go driving again. But now let's look at some examples of people known for their driving and the ways it ruined their lives. Marty McFly, known for his driving, and he almost erased himself from existence because he was driving so fast he went back in time. Speed Racer and his whole family were dedicated to driving, and what happened? His brother died and it tore them apart. These are all fictional examples from television or whatever, but television has taught me a lot about driving. Like, to not do it. There are more ads on TV for safe driving than there are to stop smoking. Inhaling poison directly into your lungs is less dangerous than getting behind the wheel. They say flying is safer than driving, and there you have gravity constantly trying to push you down. From this, we can determine that driving is a death sentence that forces you to pay for petrol. And petrol isn't cheap. I do understand why people enjoy driving and want to get their driver's license. I mean, I don't, but people have told me why they do. Having the legal right to drive gives you this new freedom and power that you didn't have before. The problem with that is a lot of people don't need more power. Going back to the original description of the car, it is like a giant metal shell that blocks out any of the negativity or common sense, so you can do what you want. And some people want bad things. They feel they can say what they want, do what they want because they're protected and they can get away with it. Literally, it's very hard to give chase when the offender can go easily 31 miles per hour. Road rages and street racing are all caused by people being given power and making sure they use all of it. Yeah, I know, every party has a pooper, that's why we invited me. People feel safer behind the wheel because they are surrounded by a layer of metal and glass. You can't hurt me, I'm invincible! Those are the famous last words of any angry driver, because when drivers become emotional, they become less rational, and when they become irrational, they quickly crash, and all. One-way road, what do you think I am, a peasant? I have a car! Power corrupts, and it is not a coincidence that car is in the word corrupt. And the bigger the car, the more powerful they feel. Just look at the four-wheel drive. Every single person that has taught me to drive has said the same thing. Four-wheel drives think they own the road. And they kind of do, because they take up 4 lanes. Oh, there's a smaller car in the parking spot I want. I am the predator! Why merge into another lane when I can straddle the line and use both? I want to do a U-turn on the freeway. Everyone will just have to wait for me. No one does anything about them. And I don't blame them, because we both know that that is a fight they will lose. Traffic lights try to control the power, but even they're not perfect. That's right, I'm gonna rant about traffic lights now. Nothing is escaping me today. The problem I have is when you get to the traffic lights wanting to turn right, and the green turn right light turns on, and then it goes out. It doesn't go red, it goes out. And this means you're supposed to go whenever you think it feels safe. The whole traffic light system is designed to tell you where to go, when to go, because it's safer that way. But here they just go, good luck. This is bad because some people don't know what they're doing. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. The one thing that everybody learns when they're driving is that you're not learning to be a good driver, you're learning how to drive to other people's conditions. Now that I have over a year's worth of experience under my belt, I understand this. Some people are driving that don't know how to drive. So just stay out of their way. Nowhere else in the world are idiots tolerated. Why would they be? Timmy, you're doing very well in class, but we're going to have to ask you to stop doing that because some of the kids aren't as smart as you. We are holding back the human race and the advancement of automobile technology just because some of us haven't figured out the rules of something that was invented in the 1600s. Do you know why we don't have hover cars yet? It's because people like this keep having stupid accidents and all the scientists of the world are going, no, they're not ready. Can you imagine how many accidents they would have if they were in the air? So maybe people are bad drivers because of stupidity, maybe because it's arrogance. I think we can all agree it's not our fault when we get into an accident. It's the lady who's talking on her phone and doing her makeup in the reflection at the same time. Or maybe people are bad drivers due to the car itself, because those things are breaking down all the time. Every little thing that goes wrong with a car needs to be checked on by a mechanic, because that little thing could mean that the car just doesn't work anymore. Cars are like that friend that get a cold and then they end up in the hospital for 5 days because they have no immune system. Oh no, this tiny piece has some water damage, so now the brakes don't work. Stay safe. Also, it's gonna cost about $1,000 to replace this, plus the hundreds and thousands of other things we found that were wrong. Looks like you broke, but your brakes don't work. I'm a funny mechanic. We need a better system. We need a car that doesn't break down all the time. Or better yet, just stop making cars. I mean, we do have alternatives. What happened to horses? I mean, we spent decades making specific shoes for them that they can't get off. And now we're not using them. Let's get our money's worth. Using a bike might be better. I mean, you never see a bike getting repaired. You either see a bike that works or a bike that was in an accident and is no more. There is no middle ground. Hot air balloons. Elegance in the sky. I miss those days. No, more accurately, I did miss those days. Maybe I'm being a little harsh when I say we should stop production on all cars. Most of my rage comes from recently learning that my previous driving instructor may have been scamming me out of $60 a week for about a year. Now, I won't say his name because that would be immature, but I will say this. He is pedantic. I won't go into everything he did because there isn't enough time, but I will go into one thing he did called the old lady trick. If we were practicing a slow speed maneuver and my instructor thought that I wasn't paying attention, the brakes would be slammed and my instructor would say, "Oops, old lady, you almost hit that woman." I was convinced that I'd almost hit an old lady. I mean, I couldn't believe I was so careless. I shouldn't be a driver. Turns out there was no old lady. This was just another way for my instructor to teach me how to drive. I learnt a lot. Once he had done this multiple times, I caught on to the fact there was no old lady. I wasn't a bad driver. He was just an evil man. Or she was an evil woman. Like I said, he is anonymous. Or she. I guess I should have noticed the quality of my instructor when he misspelled the acronym CCTV. I'll say that again. He spelled CCTV incorrectly. When I told him about it, he said he wouldn't correct it because it would be too much work. Well, I'll be damned. He had a bottle holder too, probably because it was too much work to actually hold the bottle. Excuse me, could we get this man a straw? He doesn't want to strain his neck. This is your job. You do work at your job. You should not be complaining about doing this work at your job. Also, why did they decide that 16 was the right age to get your license? Fill in the blank of this sentence. That is a hysterical blank-year-old. Everyone filled in that blank with 16, so why are they allowed to drive? The girl I went to prom with isn't responding to my texts and now my hormones are acting up again. Where are my keys? When you have a teenager speeding towards you in their mother's Commodore, screaming a battle cry while their voice breaks every couple of seconds, it's very hard to know how to appropriately react. I wouldn't be ranting about this if everyone wasn't pressuring me to get a license and telling me that it is a great step into adulthood. I mean, look at me. Look behind me. I have a Deadpool poster and a Marvel chess set. Doesn't matter how many licenses I get, it's not going to change that. So this message goes out to the entire human race. I hope you're all watching. Be better drivers. Be calm. Use your powers responsibly. Stick to the road rules. And that way the government won't have to keep putting those ads on TV that make people like me overreact. More importantly, don't let your 5-year-old play Grand Theft Auto and Twisted Metal while his mind is still developing. I mean, I got lucky. Imagine if I had been playing Hello Kitty games. then what would I be afraid of? One day I will appreciate everyone encouraging me to get my license and see how great it is having this freedom, but for now I am happy not seeing the point. The message I'm trying to convey here is that soon I will have my own driver's license. I'll be able to drive alone without supervision, and I'm very excited because when I get my driver's license, that means I will never have to drive again. Thanks for watching. Alright, I said hot air balloons are the way of the future. Time to get in my own. Okay, I didn't think this through. I'm actually very nervous right now. Somebody get me down from here! There are people out there that will just stand in walkways, usually in packs, and not even move. They'll just stand there and talk, completely oblivious to the fact that I want to go past them. And I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but the people that tend to block the walkways are usually wider. You know what I mean? I'm going to try and say this as politely as possible. Well, it's not really an issue. Because I'm not really